So, badminton rant. How was 30 days of training in Malaysia? Not gonna be anything fancy, just gonna be me talking to you guys. But basically, if you guys don't know, me and Santi, we trained in Malaysia from May 17 to June 15, right? We trained under like a world-class coach, right? He's trained like number one Malaysia women's singles player Go Jin Wei. He was with Brian Yang while I was there. He was with Beiwan Zhang, which is women's singles international number 10, U.S. number 1. He's trained Chao Tin Chen, whose highest ranking is number 1 men's singles, but current number 4, I think. So, like, literally one of the best coaches money can buy, right? And we trained 6 days a week. So Monday through Saturday for 2 hours a day, sometimes 3. But I think we only did that twice. So out of 30 days, we trained for 24 days. And I guess this is kind of just like me unpacking how that felt. One of my editors is doing like a more, I guess, pleasing edit, but I just wanted to just talk to you guys about what it was like. Basically, the first 2 weeks was kind of like just conditioning. Like, yeah, we were learning some skills, but from not training to getting used to that level of training again takes a while to adjust. And especially like if you saw me, like I lost a bunch of weight, not a bunch, I would say maybe like what, 2 kilos, 3 kilos, 5 at most. I don't know, but I lost some weight. It's obvious, you guys can tell. But in the beginning, I was like 5 kilos heavier at least, right? So we're over here dying after like one set. Our heart rate is spiking, and so it took us some time to just get used to the pace again. Once we did get used to the pace, but yeah, after we got used to the feeding, that's when like we really started to work on stuff, because it's really hard to work on stuff if you're like dying inside the sets. And there goes my dogs. But in terms of what we focused on, I guess really, wait lang. So I kind of forgot where I was, but basically, the coach DANU, he teaches like in what he calls stages. Stage 1 is like the easiest version of whatever technique you're learning. So like for example, if we were working on like the smash, right? Stage 1 is just you standing there and him lifting to you, right? No movement involved. It's as easy as possible. Very unlike a game scenario, right? Stage 2 is then the smash from multiple angles. So he might, instead of making you smash a straight lift, he might make you smash a cross lift. He might make you smash straight once and then might make you smash straight cross the next time. Something like that. So like there's usually 1 step involved or 2 steps max. And then again, very easy, but there's a little bit more difficulty, right? And then stage 3 is like, it's a bit more unpredictable. It's like there might be a covered net, so you can't see him lift it. There might be like a time you have to play something soft first and then you have to run back and smash, right? And so that's how he taught everything. And I think most good coaches teach like that. But that was the first time someone taught to me in like that kind of structure very explicitly, like, hey, today's stage 1, today's stage 2, right? And you can see that as well if you look at my training footage, like first 10 days, first 14 sessions or so, like we're just doing a lot of stage 1, stage 2 work. Like, okay, working on your net kill, like working on your pitik, right? I have a tendency on the forehand pitik to kind of internally turn my racket like this, right? Instead of hitting it like this, right, I kind of like tend to hit it like this, which is reducing the power and makes the sound not good. So like a lot of it was just like working on yung straight shots mo straight talaga, or yung cross mo cross talaga, right? Stage 1, and then stage 2 might be backhand and forehand, right? And stage 3 might be like drive, block, then kill, right? So you can see that, like I was saying, like in the first 14 days more stage 1, stage 2, but then near the end, if you watch like the last 5 sessions, there's a lot of stage 3 stuff. Besides that, we worked on some new skills, of course, because if you're not learning new skills, then like what's the point? Of course, him being Indonesian, a lot of it was very much wristy doubles, if that makes sense. So I learned how to play the backhand slice drive. I learned how to play the forehand slice, right? It was a lot of like positioning around defense. Like for example, if you're covering the middle and it comes at you, to like drive it cross, put pressure on them, right? A lot of focus on flatness, which I enjoy, of course, as a doubles player, particularly one in the front. What else did we play? So because I was with Santi, we did a lot of mixed doubles rotation as well. Santi is a bit more comfortable in the back. She was doing her own one-on-one private training as well, and hers was a lot more repetition, like footwork, more physically demanding stuff because she's still quite of a beginner, and she just needs that repetition before she can really work on any technical stuff. As for like Malaysia badminton in general, I think the courts are nice. Badminton's quite cheap. The level of the player is much higher than it is in the Philippines. So like for example, like a level D there is not going to be a level D here. More likely a level C. Right? I think it's +1 in Malaysia, right? So that meant our queuings were also a lot more difficult. Like we could go to like an intermediate queuing, and like basically all my games would be like hard games, right? Which is fun for me. Santi struggled, but near the end she adjusted, of course. What else? I think something overlooked that like people don't understand until you are in the same situations. Like when you're on court like 6 days a week, like your touch gets so good because it's like you're just so familiar with the shuttle. Because almost every day, you're playing with the shuttle, right? So especially if you're playing in a single court, you're gonna get used to the conditions. You're gonna get used to your racket, and like that helps a lot with like just placement and consistency as well. Like that was the biggest focus. Like I asked him, him being Coach Danu, right? I asked Coach Danu during the beginning of the 30 days in Malaysia. I was like, Coach, what are we gonna work on? And he was like, usually around your level, I want to work on consistency and timing before skills. And that's kind of what we did. Like yesterday when I played played with the community members, right? It's just like a day and night difference, like comparing before Malaysia meet and after, right? Not only am I physically better, so like I was moving faster and better position to take shots, like I just felt like I had more options because Coach Danu, his feeding is so good, and that's something that is very underrated when it comes to like looking at coaches. Like coaches really need to have good feeding in order to make you train. They need to place the shuttle in certain positions over and over again so that you can practice whatever it is you need to practice, right? But because Coach Donna's feeding is so good, I just felt like the game was just a lot slower. I just felt a lot more relaxed. I felt like a lot more open, and I just felt like I could play just whatever I wanted, right? Even when I was having to carry someone, I just felt a lot more calm. I just felt like I had more options, which is of course good. I guess the last thing I would say is like, would I do it again? Absolutely. Me and Santi, I think we have plans to go back to Malaysia, hopefully later this year if we can. If not, early next year. Maybe like stay 3 months next time, because like if I grew this much in 1 month, I think in 3 months it would be a lot, because like at near the end of the month is when I really started to work on my slice. Like even now in game, my slice is still a little inconsistent. I feel like in 3 months we can really solidify that that slice on the drives, I think. And then of course, like yeah, I just want to like maintain growth. Like it's so much fun to grow and improve. Like that's why I'm sad coming back to the Philippines, because like I don't have a coach here, so it's like I just know I'm just going to slowly deteriorate again unless I find someone that can help me maintain or at least grow. But yeah, that was really kind of my thoughts about badminton in Malaysia. Super fun time. If you have the money, I would recommend you go there. Find Danu unless he's super busy, and which he is, right? So thank you, coach, for finding time to train us. And yeah, see you guys next time we go back to Malaysia.